Hi, this is Tara, and this is your happy horoscope for the Virgo season, which begins, I think, tomorrow on August 22nd. I've been very confused about dates lately. Anyway, it definitely begins on August 22nd. It goes through September 22nd. Virgo is an earth sign. Virgo is in the deck that we use, the chakra zodiac healing oracle cards. Virgo is called the Analyst, which is a perfect description of Virgo. Virgo is organized, practical, very logical. That's the kind of energy that you get with Virgo. Of all of the earth signs, Virgo is the most thought-centered one. Virgo is always working things out in their mind before they put it into practice, before they put it out there into the world. And that's why Virgo energy is just so valuable when you are trying to make something happen, because it helps you to actually create and execute a plan. And that's what this season is perfect for. If you've watched my videos before, you know that what I like to do is I like to meditate on the energy before I draw the cards, before I do the videos. And when I meditated on Virgo season this year, the message that I got, it was very loud, clear message, which is very typical Virgo, was prepared, not perfect. Prepared, not perfect. So one of the hard things with Virgo is that they are perfectionists, and that energy can make you feel as if you cannot get it absolutely perfect, then what's the point? And it can also lead to a feeling of just giving up or giving in, because it's just not as perfect. It can lead to a lot of frustration, and we don't want that kind of energy, right? We want to avoid all of that. So what you want to do during Virgo season is you want to put in the work. But remember what your work is. Your work is to be optimistic, to be happy, to be mindful of your thoughts, to feel as if to know that whatever it is, you can make it happen. I just want to kind of like tell you a little like example of something that I just went through that's a very Virgo kind of a thing. There was something that I saw that I saw on a video, and I wanted to buy it. And I wanted it very badly. But I couldn't find it for sale. I kept looking, and I mean, I was obsessed. Like 3 times a day, I'm looking through online, I'm looking through the different websites, I'm trying to find different ways. And this went on for like a week, until finally I said to myself, wait a minute, what are you doing? There's a difference between an obsession where you feel like you need to win, and working towards something that is actually going to make you happy. And that to me was a perfect example of how I can fall into one pattern instead of the other. So I let the thing go. I said, you know what? It's just not right. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to find it. And I'm fine. Maybe somewhere down the line, I may find it again, or it may pop up again, because that does happen. But for right here and right now, and that's where you want to focus your energy. We're moving into earth energy. Earth energy is grounding. You want to be present. And it can feel a little odd when you're talking about making plans and that kind of thing, because that's sort of a future thing. But in a lot of ways it isn't, because you can make a plan and start executing it right now. Start taking those little steps, and that's going to ground the energy. And if you're focusing on the steps that you're taking now, you're not necessarily worried or thinking about where it's you sort of focused on where it's taking you, but in a good way, in a positive way, in a like, I am working towards what I want to achieve. I'm not going to achieve it right away. That's okay. I'm going to achieve this right here and right now and be happy with that. Otherwise, you fall into that kind of obsessive behavior where it's more about winning than it is about being happy. And I think everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. And that can be a really hard thing to recognize. And it's hard to let go of something and say, you know what? This isn't right for me for right now. I got to just let it go and move on. And that's why I think, but before I draw the cards, or we look at the cards together, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the new moon that we have coming up in Virgo on August 27th. So now you've got like a double shot of Virgo energy. Okay, you've got sun in Virgo, you've got a moon in Virgo. And this is a perfect time. Remember, we've just come out of the Lionsgate portal, okay, where we were dreaming our biggest dreams, where we were working on manifesting the greatest things that we want to have happen in our lives. This is the time to pull those out again, whatever it is. If you make a list, if you have a vision board, if you have a box, cards, whatever it is, or if you just keep it in your mind and you think about it, whatever it is, this is the energy with your sun in Virgo and your moon in Virgo. Pull those out again and take another look at them and say, okay, is this still important to me? Is this still making me happy? And if it is, what am I going to do? What positive plan am I going to start executing right now? And like I said, be very mindful of your thoughts, because Virgo energy really does, it's all about your mind. You see it in your mind, you make it happen in the physical world. That's how Virgo energy works. If you start going down that, like where I was going, that obsessive, like, I have to have this. Yeah, this has to, why is this so hard? Why? It wasn't making me happy. It had to go. Something's not making you happy. Get rid of it. Be very mindful of your thoughts during Virgo season. Stay positive, stay optimistic. Use your allies. Use generosity is always a good thing to use. Optimism, happiness, forgiveness. Forgive yourself. If things don't go exactly, or you don't execute something exactly the way that you thought that you should, forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Virgo energy is very much about beating yourself up too sometimes. Don't do that. You're preparing. You don't have to be perfect right now. Okay? Gratitude. Be grateful for what is here and what is now, because that gratitude, that optimism, that happiness with the present is what will help you attract the opportunities that take you where you want to go. And those opportunities are going to come flying at you right now. You want to put yourself in their path. That's what Virgo energy can help you do, by being present, being mindful, put yourself in the path, and have it all come to you, instead of obsessively searching online for something, because that doesn't work. And even if it did work and I had found the item and gotten it, it wouldn't have felt good. Okay? You want to feel good. I know it's cliche to say it, but it is about the journey sometimes, and whenever you're dealing with earth energy, we're dealing about our physical world, our physical experience. And it's important that you're enjoying it, because that's what we're supposed to be here doing. Okay. All right. So the cards that we're using, as usual, as I said, we have our chakra zodiac, chakra zodiac healing oracle. See, I was prepared because I have the box, but I was not perfect. And then the other card that I'm using for our kind of bonus card is I'm doing the Animal Wisdom Tarot. I love this deck so much. And I feel like animal energy is always really good when you're dealing with when you're working with earth energy. And also I've had a couple of interesting animal encounters and experiences lately, so I feel like the universe is telling me you need to be working with the animals. So let's see what our cards have to tell us. So the first card that we draw is always the energy that is moving away from us. And for right now, well, okay, this is a little weird. So the card that we drew, the energy that's moving away, is manifestation, earth energy. Now, at first glance, we may say to ourselves, and it's kind of what I'm saying to myself when I'm looking at this card here with you now, well, this doesn't make any sense because these two should be like joined at the hip. They should be going together. I feel like what this is telling us is it's kind of like the example that I was just giving you. Sometimes it's not about the manifestation. It's not about achieving the goal. It's not about winning. It's about being happy. And I think, especially this year, this season, that's where we want to focus our energies. What is going to make me happy? This is what I want to have happen. Let's say you want to take a trip this year, okay? But you're not entirely sure that, you're still working on gathering resources, or you're waiting for inspiration, or you're waiting for opportunity or whatever. Doesn't mean you can't start preparing. You can start looking at hotels. You can start, a lot of times you can make a reservation for a hotel and cancel it a day or two before it actually happens if that particular manifestation that you're working for is not right for you. Does that make sense? I hope that it does. It makes sense in my head, but sometimes it comes out and I wonder to myself, is this making sense? Because in a lot of ways, this energy moving away from us during the season sort of doesn't make sense, but it really does, because again, it's about doing the work right now. That's what Virgo is all about. It's about doing the work. It's not always about achieving the goal. And I think that's why this has come up, to let us know, don't focus so much on the achievement, on the winning. Focus on what the planning part of it, and sometimes to me that's the most fun. My friends and stuff are always laughing at me because I'm always like planning a trip or something. I'm doing it like years in advance. Sometimes it's just doing it in my head, but it makes me so happy. Sometimes it's trips that I don't take. Sometimes it's trips that I take, but I change the whole plans. It doesn't matter. It's the process that's making me happy, not the achievement of it. Okay. And I think that's what this card is here to tell us. So let's take a look at where we are in the present moments, where we want to focus most of our energy. Oh, I love this. Okay. Strength and vitality, the sun. Okay. The biggest object in our galaxy. Okay. It brings us light. It brings us warmth. It brings us joy. I mean, how much happier are we all when we're out in the sunshine than we are when we're not out in the sunshine, right? So this is the time to like find that sunshine within you and bring it out into the world. Okay. Use your strengths, use your vitality, use your personal. Everybody's got their own personal energy, whether you call it an aura, or my mom, who was a Virgo, by the way, my mom used to call it a sparkle. Whatever it is that you've got that's so uniquely you, put it out there. Let other people see it. That's what's going to attract those opportunities to you. And that's what's going to help you to create those plans and those things that are unique and to you and to your joy. Okay, so use your strength and vitality this month. All right, you've got it. It's within you. Now it's time to pull it out. And then where the energy is taking us rebel Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius is an air sign. Aquarius is the innovator. Aquarius is the sign that just sees beyond what everybody else is seeing. That's always looking at ways to make things better. Maybe it's time to be the rebel of your own life. Maybe what this is trying to tell you is it's time for you to rebel against however you've been doing something, especially if it feels like it's not working for you. If something's working for you and you're happy and you're joyous and everything's going along great, keep doing that. Don't worry about it. But there's always things that are not working for you, that are just not feeling so good. That doesn't mean that you've made a mistake. We're not beating ourselves up. It doesn't mean that you haven't done something, that you've done something wrong. We're not beating ourselves up. We're saying, you know what, this isn't right for me for right now. Let's be a rebel and try something different. Be open to, you never know what's going to come your way. And it's the easiest thing in the world to say no to something, right? Stay in our comfort zone. Especially when you're dealing with earth energy, you kind of do want to stay in your comfort zone. You kind of want to stay like warm and fuzzy and not have to worry about, because it's scary when you try something new, and it's scary when when you put yourself out there and you don't know. And that's what you're going to be doing in the present moment, is you're putting yourself out there. This is where it's going to take you. It's going to take you to something new. New opportunities are going to come at you, and when they do, you want to take advantage of them. That's what this is all about. Because it's whatever it is that, going back to the Lionsgate, whatever it is that you are working on there, whatever it is that you are manifesting, it's something new. It's something that is not in your personal existence right now. Or it's something that that is in your existence that you want it to be better. So already you've already stated, I want to rebel against what is right now. But you don't want to rebel against the good stuff, all that good stuff. You want to hold tight to that, and you want to use that to attract new good stuff that at first is going to feel a little bit like, this doesn't feel like me. This is a little like, I'm not irresponsible. I don't just say take off work at a whim and go running off on a weekend trip or something. Maybe you do. Maybe this is the time. What is it that will set you off on maybe a new path, or when those opportunities come at you? And I'm very serious when I say that, because I've seen it happening in my own life. Things are just popping up all over the place, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, but inside I do know it's right. It's right. It's now. Let's go for it. Okay. So yeah, even though Virgo is definitely not a rebellious sign, typically. I actually know a lot of Virgos. As I said, my mother was. I have several friends who are Virgos. And in their own way, as much as they are very much perfectionists, they're also a little rebellious too. They're a little like, we're not going to do what everyone expects us to do. We're going to do what we think is best for us. That's what you want to do. That's the kind of energy you want to tap into during this season. Okay. And then, as I said, we draw a bonus card. It is an animal card. Oh dear, I like this. Okay. The magpie. All right. Anytime you're dealing with bird energy, I really kind of like it, because birds are considered to be kind of the, I can't think of the right word, but they travel between heaven and earth. Okay. And I kind of like, I'm not going to take the time now to look up in the book and find out exactly what the 7 of feathers means, but I'll tell you what I'm feeling from this card just looking at it. The magpie has a little key in his mouth, and there's a rainbow, and there's a tent, and kind of feel like maybe this magpie is unlocking the key to more joy, to making everything happen, to bringing more rainbows into your life. It's bringing the messages up to heaven, and it's also bringing back opportunities for you to take a hold of and unlock all of the wonderful stuff that you can have in your life. I think that's what magpie wants to do. I will look it up later, and I might write a little something about it. Okay, or you might want to look up on your own what the magpie means, magpie animal energy means. But I'm feeling that the magpie really is letting us know that the universe wants to help us find our rainbows, unlock all of our joy, and make everything that we want to have happen in our lives happen in our lives, and enjoy ourselves while we're doing it. A couple of other things during Virgo season, we'll have a full moon in Pisces on Pisces, the sign of dreams, on September 9th, I believe. And then also on September 9th, Mercury is going to go retrograde. I like Mercury retrograde, and I think Mercury going retrograde during an earth sign is really, it's good because it helps you slow down. And earth energy is about slowing down, taking your time, figuring things out. And it's especially helpful when you're working on plans and procedures. It's a good idea to take a step back, and that's what a Mercury retrograde is all about, taking a step back, or taking a little time to think about things and figure out and decide, you know what, that's not working for me. Let's find what will work for me. Okay. And that's where this energy is all taking us to. I hope you have a wonderful Virgo season. I will come back and I'll do another little video on before the full moon and before the Mercury retrograde, and we'll do a little check-in to see how the energy is working for all of you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it valuable, enlightening, and I'm wishing you lots of love and light and a very happy Virgo season.